Next up, we chase down a midwinter primetime bluegill bite. While most anglers are packing up for the day, we're just drilling our holes. Jon Thelen's Destination Fish is brought to you by Lindy Fishing Tackle, Striker, and L&M Fleet Supply. A bit of bluegill fishing today. Midwinter, maybe the toughest time of the year. We've actually got a warm front. Bunch of them there. Look at this. There, got him on this one. I think we might have one over there too. Here we go, yup. Let the evening begin. This is what we're gonna chase this evening, primetime bluegills. And I'll tell you what, this right here is one of my favorite deals. Look at that, doubled. Let's see here. We're gonna just set that fish right there. They're starting in, and this is the way it works. All of a sudden, it's just gonna fire off. And that's the way primetime works. Look at that. 2 great gills to start the night. That's a double. It's that time that you look at and you say, man, I know it's gonna happen, and I know it's gonna happen soon. That's a great gill no matter where you go. Let's get this guy back in the water. Look at that. Perfect fish. And then let's get this one out of the bucket because we're just gonna let him go tonight. And let's get this one back in the water. Look at that, brothers. Same identical size fish. Perfect fish, exactly what we're chasing. But we're gonna talk about those tips and tricks that are gonna help you catch more of these fish, especially these primetime fish, because I'll tell you what, this right here is some of the funnest fishing you can do. And if you can get back down there quick, a lot of times you can keep those fish around and they won't get away on you. Here he comes. There he is, got him. Watched him coming. I just glanced over at the Mega Live unit and I saw that fish dart up out of there. Look at that, another good one. Look at that. Exactly what we're here to do. What I'm gonna do, it's another good gill, get him back out of here. And we still got a little bit of bait there. Let me get this one baited back up. But one of the things that I like to do is fish 2 different styles of rods, and I'll explain to you why. I'm gonna fish this tuned up precision noodle rod. It's got the softest tip of any of the tuned up custom rods within the family. That's my dead stick. Then over here, the handheld rod, that's my bullwhip. And this tuned up custom bullwhip, this rod is perfect for working a tungsten jig and working it real slow. It's mid-January. This afternoon we are fishing off the edge of a shoreline point in 18 feet of water. Weather conditions are stable with temps warming through the mid-20s and a 10-mile-per-hour south wind bringing that warm air north. The lure of choice today is the number 12 Lindy Tungsten Toad in bright colors. Chartreuse orange and chartreuse lime tipped with waxworms are doing the trick. There he is, got him. Let's talk a little bit about timing, because ultimately, that's a good one. Look at that one. That's awesome. First thing, it's midwinter right now. We're fishing that time period where things can get a little bit tough. So one of the things I'll tell you that I always do is I really try to focus on those prime times. That time of the day when I know these fish are gonna be the most active. So an hour before sunset, right through, an hour, maybe 2 hours after sunset, but location matters. Don't be afraid, especially in midwinter, to fish deeper for these fish, because what'll happen is they'll just come through in waves. There's another one, and that's what's going on. We got a little wave earlier, 3 of them came roaring through, and there were more than 3. 3 is what I got. Look at this one. That's a giant. And what's happening now is the second wave is pouring through, and what we're doing now is just picking off that second wave. Now you can say, well, why aren't you starting up even shallower? Because once they get there, they've already fed all the way up, just like they're doing right now. If you spent more time after dark up there, you're gonna catch more fish. But right now, because of the setup that I'm in, it's still daylight outside, and these fish are just on the move, I'm able to pick them off on their way up. What an awesome fish. That's just fun. I don't care what anybody says. You put a fish like this on an ultralight, and that is a ball. Jon Thelen's Destination Fish has been brought to you by these great sponsors. There he is, got him. I knew I was gonna get that fish on one of these setups. Just the way he was coming up, you could tell he was a good gill too. He came in on the live unit, I saw him coming from a little ways away and then just looked over and there he was. Look at that one. Man, that is awesome. What a beautiful gill, holy smokes. Man, the quality of these fish has just been awesome too. I mean, there's a lot of great eaters. There's some bigger fish mixed in. I mean, this is something else. Really cool tool, toothpick. It makes it so easy to get in there on that light wire hook, pop it out just like that, and not bend a hook. That right there, another great gill. Get out of here, buddy. I have one other trick I want to show you because I think it makes a big difference. When I'm baiting this tungsten toad up, when I'm fishing waxworms especially, waxworms are a very soft worm. Ultimately, a bluegill, especially your smaller ones, can tear these off so easily, so I always put 2 on there. What 2 of them does for me is, number 1, because they're hanging a little bit separately, what ends up happening is they're dancing a little bit different down there. They start looking like a little bit bigger bait. And we're still within the spectrum of what a bluegill is willing to eat, but we're on the bigger side. And if I'm on the bigger side, I tend to believe the bigger fish are the ones I'm going to get to bite. That fish looked back and forth between the 2 rods. I finally just picked the noodle rod up and came up and kept him coming up because I realized he just wasn't reacting to my jig stick up high. So what I did is I just picked up that noodle rod and I just moved this jig up a little bit and kept him coming. That fish bit one of these brand new colors. I'm gonna show you what I'm using here. But man, that's another great fish. Any fish that fills your palm, that's just awesome. Let me show you what we're using. Really simple deal. This is a Lindy tungsten toad. Bunch of new colors this year, and that one so happened to be on one of those new colors. But here's what's really cool about this jig. It's got a little bit of an offset in the hook. So when I jig this jig, it's just dancing up and down just a little bit. It's got a little bit of this movement like that. And that's a big thing because what that's doing is making it so that that little waxworm on the back is dancing down there as well. Comes in a whole variety of colors. And then with the new ones this year, I mean, there's a bunch. And then on top of that, you can get it in 3 different sizes, a size 14, a size 12, and a size 10. I'm choosing to fish the 12 because most of these bluegills are on the bigger side. We're not gonna run into a whole lot of little bluegills here. There he is, got him. Man, it's ironic how all of a sudden it'll just happen. And it's just gonna go, and you know, you get a little lull, and then all of a sudden, there's a whole bunch of them back in here. And there's a bunch of them on the screen right now. Look at that gilly. Hey, let me tell you something. You're used to seeing me fishing most of the time in a portable, wearing my striker suit. And today though, I chose to do it a little bit different. Today we chose to get out in the Alumilite and do it in a little bit more comfort. Before we go this evening, I want to tell you just a little bit more about these Alumilites, because if you own a cabin or if you live on a lake, I'll tell you, these things are definitely the way to go, because it is comfortable. Alumilite ice houses are the leader in lightweight aluminum skid houses. Alumilite houses are durable, built with an all aluminum frame and a spray foam interior coating which provides maximum efficiency, keeping the cold out and the heat in. They are lightweight, meaning they can be easily moved with a side-by-side four-wheeler or snowmobile. Alumilite fish houses are available in standard sizes ranging from 5x7 to 8x12, with custom sizes and options available. Alumilite ice houses are available at dealers across the Midwest. To learn more about Alumilite fish houses, visit solderbloom.com. Well, that'll tell you a little bit about why I chose to put an Illumilight up here at my cabin. Hey, be sure to check back next week. We're gonna have another great episode of Jon Thelen's Destination Fish. Jon Thelen's Destination Fish has been brought to you by these great sponsors.